All right. Sorry about that. Just started a new stream. We were experiencing some technical difficulties, but now it seems like everything is back on track. Let's see. Hopefully everything is good now. Let's see. How is everybody? Let's see. I see we just got a raid. Thank you. Thank you, Pixela, as well. Let's see. Hashtag Pixela raid. Yes, my dragon avatar is back. Okay, sorry about that. I think everything is good now. So, yeah. I was streaming Sonic X Shadow Generations. I finished the Sonic Generations bit. Hey, good to know. I hope you had fun. So, for tonight's stream, I am going to be playing Spyro the Dragon. But with a twist. I'm going to be playing the infamous Japanese version. And the reason why this version is infamous, you will see in a moment. But, basically, this version actually, did not do well financially in Japan, unfortunately. However, it was a critical success. How is this on Steam? This is actually a non-Steam game that I added in there. Here it is, Japanese Spyro 1, or as I like to call it, Spyro the Anime. Let's do this. So a lot of things changed in the Japanese version besides the dubbing, which you'll see in a minute. Also, pardon me if I'm constantly breathing into the microphone. I'm like out of breath for some reason. Does everything from Japan have to be anime? Well, not exactly. Okay, so, the major difference that you might have noticed is the fixed camera. And also the charging is slower, which makes this version a bit more infamous compared to the Western version that we're all familiar with. But like I said, this game was a critical success in Japan. Yes, Spyro did in fact originate from America. This is the Japanese port. Also, can I just say that Spyro's voice actually sounds really good here? Like, this is the voice I honestly prefer. Because I think this is probably one of the most accurate voices in the history of Spyro. So the actual reason this game failed in Japan is because apparently it was released at the exact same time as Final Fantasy. And like, it's no wonder this game failed in the market, because like, you're competing with another game that got a lot more hype. You're never going to succeed. Also, you may have noticed that the charging controls are a bit slower, which also makes this version a bit more infamous. So the reason this version was changed is because, to my understanding, Japanese players were experiencing motion sickness, or I guess you can call it 3D sickness or something. So what they did was add a fixed camera and make the controls a little slower. Because apparently the fast-paced gameplay was what was making the Japanese players nauseous. And it might sound ridiculous to some people, but motion sickness is a real problem, and it can especially be a problem for some players. Most people who played this game outside of Japan, however, did not like this version because of the changes that were made. But I do want everyone to keep in mind that this version was never made to appeal to us. It was made to appeal to those who lived in Japan. And since I'm playing this, and since I have completed this game before, I'm still trying to beat Spyro 2, by the way. Hold on. Crash Bandicoot is popular in Japan, but Spyro isn't. Yes, Insomniac Games is an American company. Let's see, I don't get motion sickness, but this is one time I felt like I got vertigo while playing a VR game. Okay, what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought. I'm trying to remember what I was gonna say. Aren't dragons part of Asian mythology? I'm trying to remember what I was gonna say earlier. Damn it, I hate it when that happens. Was I addressing something earlier? Because I think it was important. I really hate it when I forget what I'm gonna say. Green Comet. Hello. Oh yeah, okay, so I'm still trying to complete Spyro 2 in Japan. I already completed this game. And from my experience, it's actually not as bad as people say it is. And I think most people tend to complain about the changes in the Japanese version because they're a lot more used to the fast-paced action in the original game, which is understandable. the game does take a while to wrap your head around. And it does take a while to get comfortable with, but once you fully get used to it, it's actually not as bad as you might think. Like, I still prefer the original version because, of course, it's the one that we're all familiar with. Granted, the camera can get annoying sometimes, like, sometimes it can make things harder to see. But it's really not that bad. Hashtag pixel array. I play Bionicle Heroes and I get motion sickness trying to look at the TV. Started another playthrough of Reignited. I hope you have fun! It makes me want to go back to Reignited. Also, you might have noticed that there are some signs that are placed throughout this game, which you don't see in the original version. And I think that's a nice detail. I think it's supposed to help Japanese players learn how to get comfortable with the game and how it works. And I think that's pretty nice. Okay, let's see. To prevent people from getting lost. Yeah. I think the only physical copy of Bionicle Heroes I have is the Wii version. You know what? Japan makes good stuff. I love their Dragon Ball Z shows. I actually watched the original Dragon Ball some time ago. Like the 1980s Dragon Ball, and the whole time I was watching it, I was like, what the hell am I witnessing? Like, I won't say too much, but let's just say Japan was clearly smoking something when they made that.
お前はまだ覚えなければならないことがたくさんあるぞ。例えばそのトンボだ。そいつの名前はスパークスといって、お前を危険から守ってくれる大切な友達なんだ。
This version is more balanced. It kind of is. I think it's supposed to help players to get more comfortable with the controls and especially the camera. And I'm actually okay with this. Also, I love the little noises Spyro makes when he does like anything like charging, gliding, and completing a level. I think that's really cool. And he sounds a lot more adorable in this game too. You can clearly tell that they hired a voice actress for Spyro to make him sound younger, and I think this voice fits. I noticed that Spyro has more voice clips during gameplay in the Japanese version. He does. And Spyro sounds like an actual kid. He does! He actually sounds a lot younger. And I like it. Sadly, there haven't been more Spyro games in Japan. In fact, Japan never got a Spyro 3, believe it or not. Like, the first two games sold so poorly that they didn't even release a Spyro 3. Like, there's literally a world where Spyro 3 Year of the Dragon doesn't exist. But, the actual reason it never got ported there is because apparently the studio that was working on these ports unfortunately got shut down at some point. I think there were a couple more Spyro games in Japan, but there weren't as many as we do in the West. There weren't as many as they don't have as many as we do in the West. There was Season of Ice in Japan for the GBA. There was Spyro Orange, unfortunately. And then there's Skylanders Spyro's Adventure, which is the only Skylanders game that ever got ported to Japan. As for Reignited, I think it's playable in Japan in some capacity, but it wasn't officially ported.
宝の箱を見つけたまでは良かったんだがね。鍵が開かなくて悩んでいるうちにクリスタルにされて。そう。
What about Spyro Season of Flame? I don't think there was a Japanese Season of Flame there. So, like, if we're not counting Skylanders, I would say Spyro only had, like, a total of 4 games ported to Japan. That's way less than Crash. Because, believe it or not, Crash was more popular in Japan than Spyro was. But, I guess Western games don't really appeal to Japan much. In fact, you might have noticed that, some of you might know that, Spyro's design got changed in the Japanese advertisements as well as Crash. I think they were both I think those designs were made to be more appealing for Japan. So they gave Spyro a more cutesy design to make him seem more friendly. For whatever reason, I guess Japan doesn't like cute-looking characters trying to be all edgy and stuff. Like Sonic, for example. Like, Sonic was originally created in Japan, but ironically, he is a lot more popular here in America than he is in Japan. Just like Mario being more popular in Japan. Did Japan get a dub of Croc? I've never played Croc, so I can't tell. Even though Sega is a Japanese company, Sonic was made for the West. Pretty much. Which is kind of crazy. In fact, Sonic Movie 3 actually sold very poorly in the box office.
だけどその翼で高いところから滑るように飛ぶことはできるんだ。そうすれば行けるところは随分増えるはずだよ。
Let's see. The voice actually fits well for Spyro. As the guy who was a fan of Japanese voices for characters, this one's actually my favorite as well. Alum, hello. Surprised they never made a manga of the games. There actually is a manga based on Spyro 2. I think they were short manga strips, and I think there was a main one based on Spyro 2. I think that was where Spyro and Sparks were taking a vacation at the beach. Alora's there, a hunter's there, the professor's there, and then Ripto, for whatever reason, starts attacking. I don't know why. I do not understand Japanese, so I don't know what anything about it implies. I think there was also a manga series based on Crash Bandicoot as well. I'm surprised neither of them got an anime. I'm surprised neither Spyro nor Crash got an anime, which they absolutely should. That would be sick. Like, I want to see Spyro turn into a Super Saiyan and just go all out on Ripto. Tell me that wouldn't be the coolest thing ever. Sounds like a mishmash of scrambled words. That's what Japan's words are like to me. Japan's dictionary. Like, I understand very little about speaking Japanese. And I wish I knew how to speak Japanese.
There was a
Spyro movie in the works, but it got cancelled. Oh yeah, we all know that. Yeah, there was a Spyro movie in the works, and it did eventually got cancelled. And there was a leaked script that was released to the public like a few years ago, I think. And I made a video where I read the entire script in full time, and to say it was lackluster would be too nice. Like, it was that bad. I cringed the whole time I read that script, and it made me glad the movie never became a thing. Like, granted, it was only like a fourth draft, but still, it was a draft not worth sitting through. The only Japanese words I know are konnichiwa and nani. See, those are some of the only Japanese words that I know. Like how Spyro just said yatta. Apparently that means I did it, or cool, or something like that. At least that's what I remember researching. I do know arigato means thank you. But other than that, I think that's all I know about Japanese. I think that's all I know about speaking Japanese. Have you ever seen You Are Yumasu? I don't know what that is. Do you like the Skylanders now? As a video game franchise, I would say Skylanders is kinda mid. Like, it's not terrible. But, the gameplay does kinda drag a bit, and, it does get repetitive at times, too. Like, with all the button mashing and stuff. And here I'm like, why do people want to see this franchise get revived? Like, I get that they grew up with it, but still. Let's see, how many gems did I get? Oh, I got 200. Okay, I can leave. I was just autistically running around the whole place. Well, at least there's a Skylander show with Spyro. There is. And, I think this should serve as a friendly reminder to everyone that this is the closest to an anime show Spyro will ever get. And the same goes for Crash Bandicoot, because he was also in there. Granted, he was in a few episodes, but still. And it was also the first animated debut Spyro has ever had, and most likely ever will. Whether we like it or not. It's tough to be a completionist in a Spyro game. When you're playing the original trilogy by Insomniac, it's actually not that hard to complete the game 100%.
よくここまで来られたな。いいか。奴らが使っている不思議な金属はドラゴンの炎を跳ね返してしまう。だから戦うときは頭を使えよ。ま、俺なら楽勝だ。
Let's see. Do you like the Skylander show? Oh, I was talking about the game franchise. As a show, it's kind of solid. The writing can be a little kiddie at times, but like, it's kind of harmless for a show aimed for a younger audience. Kind of like Sonic Prime. But it is fun to watch. I think my favorite episode from Skylanders Academy would probably be Return to Cinder. Always struggle with the flying stages. It can be tough the first time you visit them. Let's see, would you ever visit Japan? Oh boy, I discussed interest in going to Japan someday, and I really hope I do. I really hope I get to go to Japan someday. 'Cause it sounds like a really nice place. Same reason I want to visit Mexico someday. God, I love Spyro's voice. If they ever port another Spyro game to Japan, which they probably won't, but if they ever do, I want them to bring back that voice. Let's see, Mizu Kudazi means water, please. Huh. Japan has some great food, and they have Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea. Damn! I really want to go to Japan now.
ナスティが魔法でダイヤをモンスターにしちゃったんだ。だからやっつければ元のダイヤに。
If you're gonna buy the stuff in Japan, like plushies or food, you have to get yen something. So you mean like American dollars won't really American dollars won't work for Japan? I mean, I guess that makes sense. It is Japan, and I guess they're strict with how we should use our money. Wonder what you want to do with Mexico, Travis. Well, I do have a friend who lives there, or actually, I have two friends who live there, and I would love to visit them sometime. You need to convert American money to Japan money then. Alright, Retro Snake, how am I doing? I'm doing alright. Let's see. Japan is like a democratic authoritarian state. Fair enough. You ever hear about this board game called Heavy Gear? It's kind of similar to Battletech mixed with Warhammer, and it's pretty cool to play. I don't think I've ever heard that. Never heard of that play. So like, if you want to read these signs, if you understand Japanese, you can either walk up to those or just attack them.
This is グライドタウンというステージだ。お前のその翼で高いところから滑るように飛ぶことをグライドと言うんだよ。そのグライドがとっても重要だ。もうマスターしてるかな?
This place is called Glide Town in Japanese. Interesting. Attacking them doesn't work in the American version. I know that the levels actually have different names in the Japanese version. Like Artisans, for the Artisan's Homeworld, for example, is actually called the Green Garden, I think. Which does make sense. Like it does kind of look like a garden.
いやー、ここの牛たちは角の先が赤いもんだから、自分のその赤い角を見ていつも興奮してるんだよ。危ないったらありゃしない。
This my first time seeing any gameplay of Japanese Spyro, and I love that he has voice clips during gameplay. Yeah, during gameplay, Spyro does make a lot of noises. Like whenever he charges, whenever he glides, whenever he gets hurt, whenever he dies, and whenever he completes a level. The completing level noise is my favorite. I just love hearing Spyro scream "Yatta" every time you collect every single gem. I actually added that as a soundboard for my Dimension Ride server. Why is it that when America gets Japanese stuff, I sometimes don't dub it in English? Your guess is as good as mine. Is Spyro your favorite dragon? You're talking to a Spyro fan here. You're talking to a guy who's playing Spyro right now. Does that answer your question?
スパイロ、青い服を着た盗賊を見かけなかったかい？あいつら我々の種族の大切な卵を盗んでるんだ。逃げ足は速いけど何としても卵を取り返してくれ。そうしないと我々は頼んだよ。
What's odd is that sometimes they keep some of the dragons' names in the same, but they change the others. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about Sparks. So, for some reason, Sparks is actually green the whole time, no matter how much damage you take. But, as you take damage, Sparks gets less and less bright. So, if you take damage at any point, just make sure you pay attention to his glow. I don't know why he doesn't change color in this version. And I don't know if the players were sensitive to that in Japan. But I think it's kind of a weird change. Let's hear the line.
助けてくれてありがとう。
Arigato! Professor OC is literally inspired by that. Yeah, you're talking to a guy whose Dragon Sona is based on Spyro. Not to mention, I'm literally making a comic series inspired by Spyro. If that doesn't tell you how much of a fan I am of dragons, I don't know what will. Let's see, did I complete the level? Yeah, I completed the level. Thank you for releasing me. You saved me, thank you. Someone gave Spyro more voice lines for the Japanese version. This must be the work of Very Godparents! I love that Mr. Crocker reference. Thank you for releasing me. this! I can step on the stones without having to turn the camera. That's a big improvement. Ember used to be in love with Spyro until she fell in love with someone else. I don't know who she fell in love with, but I think it was an armadillo in Shadow Legacy. I think the armadillo had a crush on her, and Ember was like, okay, I'll go out with you. Sorry, Spyro, you had your chance. And like, Spyro wasn't even interested in her in the first place. Like, let's be real here. This level is called Sunny Sky rather than Sunny Flight. I hate it when I miss one. It's annoying, man! Like I said. Let's see. Lunar Equity, hello. I'm trying not to miss any messages, by the way. I'll get back to them once I'm done. I just don't want to get distracted. Okay, let's see. There we go. Almost there. You get back here. Hey, I did not say you could live. Just press the jump button at the very top of your jump. Also, thank you for releasing me. They made these on PSP but never went to Vita. Really? I thought they were playable on the PlayStation Vita. That's strange. Let's see, you know what would have been cool when Reignited? They added a filter for CRT and a 4:3 aspect ratio. I can see how that idea would work. Nothing beats the nostalgic feeling of a CRT filter and playing a Spyro game on a good old CRT TV. Confronting Toasty, or whatever his name is in Japanese. Happy early birthday to you, by the way. Why don't Americans pronounce the G in Nasty Nork? Because the G is silent. We don't say Gnasty Gnork, we say Nasty Nork. Pardon me, I'm just gonna steal your gems. Thank you. Bad dog. No attacking the dragon. Bad, whatever you are. I hate you. Okay, just gotta clear out these guys for a second. Let's see. The G's are not supposed to be silent like with K, and I somehow changed that. I think Gnasty Gnork is funny. Technically they stole them first, so we're getting them back. The Kana is a bit styled. The most I can make is Pumpkin. Pumpkin? That's literally what they called him in Japanese. We're facing the pumpkin. Are you sure we're not facing a sheep in disguise? Are you sure we're not facing a sheep in disguise, Japan?
そんなやつ僕がコテンパンにしてやるよ。
油断するなスパイロ。周りにいる犬もかなり厄介だからな。
Let's see. I forgot how well the PS1 music sounds. It does. Stuart Copeland made a kick-ass soundtrack. Let's see. Top 10 anime villains. Number 1, Gnasty Gnork. Before I forget, I got a new kitty a month ago. He's a real goober with the zoomies. Hey! That's awesome. There's one more part of his name that I couldn't make out. Looks like Nasty Gnork's Japan name is pronounced similar to Nasty Gnork with silent G's. Just to make sure we're all in agreement, this entire game is Lindar's fault for calling Nasty ugly. Absolutely. His full Japanese name is Wonder Pumpkin. Thank you, Spyro Wiki. Wonder Pumpkin. All right, Wonder Pumpkin, let's do this. Let's throw hands, boy. Come here. Oh, you gonna run away from me? You gonna run away from me? You get back here, Wonder Pumpkin. You're not even a pumpkin anymore. You're just a sheep now. Come here. Well, that was anticlimactic. Ah, damn it, I didn't get all of them, did I? I could have sworn I got all of them. I hate it when this happens. I hate it when there's a missing gem that I have to find now. God, I'm so upset. Wait, how did I miss these? There we go. Yatta indeed. We are done. And we can finally leave. Let's go. People bully Gnasty Gnork. Eat the butterfly, Sparks. I need you to stay healthy and still be green, but glowing. I got stuff on Clifftown for the exact same reason. I never realized you could actually tell where the last gems are with Sparks. Missing gems is never fun. Exactly. And the IGN live last weekend, it was so fun. I think that's just about everything. I guess we can talk to the balloonist now. The only thing different here is the language. Well, the language isn't the only thing. Pretty much the controls and the camera are different, but other than that, everything else is practically the same. There's also signs, and there's also those dragonfly eggs that I forgot to mention. That you can put into your PlayStation device. I don't know what it's called. What was it? A Tamagotchi? I think it was where you could adopt your own dragonfly or something. Which I think is a neat detail.
ここはコンバットガーデンの世界だ。ドラゴンたちの世界の平和と規律を守っている。だが、ナッシーのせいでこのありさまだ。
僕に任せてよ。
Blowhard equals hurricane hat. Oh, the pocket station. Thank you. Yeah, sorry, I keep forgetting what it was called. Bucks. I hear the dragon say Noragan Sakai, which I think means Dragon World. Wonder what the money works will be like in this version of Spyro 1. Sword Heart Studios, hello! I'm glad to see you here. How have you been doing? Yep, the Norks are still mooning you. They're showing you that sexy ass. Which I have to burn now. Nesty Nork is basically the same name, but pronounced all weeb-like. Butts. Toasty butt. So, yeah. Whoa, I'm getting shot at by cannons. That's not very nice. Consider this your cannon license being revoked. You dummies. Blast that ass. Doing good. I've been working on a lot of new videos and improving my animation skills in Adobe Animate. Cool! Have fun!
あのちっこいやつら、我々の真似して戦争ごっこだよ。
Alright, T-Dog, take
キャ
care.
ッチボールなんかしたりして危なっかしくて見てられないよ。
Cannon to the butt. Why does Gen 5 of Spike from My Little Pony look like Spyro? I'm not sure. I haven't even seen Generation 5 of My Little Pony. I don't even watch My Little Pony, period. I only saw, like, a new generation once or twice, and I thought it was just okay. Thanks, Travis. You're welcome, Sorty. Magnus, my beloved. Spyro, darling, you need to learn everything you know before you go on your quest to find Red. Oh, such a story. How much time do you have, sweetheart? Red was once part of the thing that tried to overthrow our leader. I'm afraid that's all I can tell you, Spyro. Confidence, you know. But before you leave, I will teach you how to pole spin. Now, to pole spin, jump onto the pole. To swing over to the next pole or dismount, just jump. You can change direction of the pole simply by turning the opposite direction. I'm sorry, I absolutely love Fruity Magnus. Fruity Magnus is the best Magnus, and no one's gonna tell me otherwise.
戦いに関しては誰にも負けない。戦い方ならいくらでも教えてやるぞ。
でもやられちゃったよね。
だから油断するなということだ。
In the Reignited trilogy of Spyro, do you have the OG soundtrack on or the Reignited? I tend to switch it to either one, depending on what I want to hear more. Like, if I'm in the mood to hear some remixed music, I'll just switch to Reignited, but whenever I want to hear Stuart Copeland soundtrack, I'll just switch it to that. Which soundtrack is actually better depends on everybody else's taste. Now I know I've heard that voice before. When I heard that Spyro from Hero's Tale, Dragon Elder Magnus taught Spyro how to pole spin, I was like, what? I didn't even understand the joke when I was a kid. I didn't even think it was a joke. Yatta, indeed! We did it! Now we can move on. Yep. Do you think Tom Kenny's voice works better for Spyro or SpongeBob? I think they both work just the same. But I think I prefer Spyro's Japanese voice. Mostly because I think it actually fits. It makes Spyro sound younger, and I think the voice works a lot better. Now, Tom Kenny, he's fantastic. So, he did a fantastic job as Spyro. And he will always be the iconic Spyro voice. I just prefer the Japanese voice better, that's all I'm saying. Like, if Spyro ever gets If Spyro ever gets an anime, that's what I want his voice to sound like. In Japanese. And I genuinely hope Spyro actually does get an anime. Like, that would be sick.
助かった。ありがとうよ。
Did you ever see Spyro's Bad Day from Mashed? I did. Several times. And it's funny. Do you know how many chapters will be in Dimension Ride? Honestly, I'm not sure. I didn't really plan the whole story out. But we did discuss it. We're trying to make sure that the entire story is well thought out. Ow. That's not very nice. Ever heard of cause and effect? I didn't mean to read the sign. I'm just trying to heal my buddy. I'm trying to heal Sparks, damn it. Stitch got an anime, then I guess Spyro could too. Oh yeah, Stitch got an anime. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. How can you enjoy a voice that you don't understand the language of? See, you don't need to understand Japanese to enjoy a voice. It's all about how it actually sounds. Japanese is so different, but it makes more sense since he's tiny. Guess we're gonna face the Pumpkin King. We actually did that already. You just missed Toasty. Ah, no! Ah, no! Now I have to climb all the way back up there again! I'm upset now. There we go. I'd love to see what a Spyro anime would look like. Same. Did somebody get the Nintendo Switch too? Not yet. I'm still saving up for it. Because I really don't have the money for it, and it's hella expensive. It's hella expensive, so yeah. Why don't they put the Aladdin series on Disney Plus? I don't know. Can I ask you a favor or something? It depends on the favor. Let's see. Yeah, the Switch 2 is really expensive, so I'm gonna wait until the prices go down. Maybe I'll consider buying it on Black Friday if I save enough money. Because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to save up for the console. Why does the camera turn so fast every time I glide?
いやいや、よく来てくれた。こんな難しいところまでグライドで来られたなんてすごいじゃないか。
You got it on
二度と
launch
こ
day?
こから動けないと思ってたよ。ハゲワシたちがいつも僕の
Damn.
上に飛ばってさ。
I'm jealous now. Mario Kart World looks fun. It does! And I still want to play it, but I have to get the stupid console so I can play the game. Stupid exclusivity. I know it wasn't likely, but it sucks we didn't get a Spyro 4 announcement or any news.
嬉しいね、あのやんちゃ坊主がの。俺にすごい秘密を教えや。実はな。
何なの？
ああ、忘れた。
Alright, you have a good night. To be honest, I kinda knew Spyro 4 wasn't gonna get announced, and it's because, like, we've heard so many rumors saying Spyro was gonna be announced at this event or that event. And the problem I have with those rumors is that they don't have an actual source to back them up. That's why I have a hard time believing that that there's going to be a Spyro 4 announced at whatever event that it's supposedly going to be announced, unless there's an actual teaser building up to that, or there's an actual confirmation coming from the company or developers themselves. So, like, if you hear any rumors say that Spyro 4 is going to be announced at whatever event that happens in the future, don't believe them, okay? Because I know we've all been waiting for a new Spyro game. I know I've been waiting for a new Spyro game. But we can't come into these events expecting the game to be announced, because like, if we end up not seeing the game at the event, we're just gonna end up being disappointed. I've had to learn that lesson the hard way. So that's why I decided not to watch the Xbox showcase, because I knew there was gonna be absolutely nothing. So unless there's an actual source that backs up the Spyro 4 rumors, no, I'm not falling for those. I don't believe them for a second. Even if they say Spyro 4 is supposedly confirmed, I need the sauce. I need the sauce. I needs me some sauce. Because if I don't have me some sauce, I'm not gonna believe that. I'm not gonna believe Spyro 4 is happening unless I have the sauce. You know what I'm saying? For years they've been making Spyro games and not Crash games. I kept asking for a new Crash game, and now that they have a new Crash game, they stopped making Spyro games. I don't understand that. Well, technically Spyro didn't really get his own games in the 2010s either. Most of the games he appeared in were just Skylanders games. Oh no, 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 no! Ah. Why did I have to glide like an idiot? As a 14-year-old, I can't really purchase my own consoles. Gotta save for other things. So I know for a fact that Toys for Bob are working with Microsoft. So maybe they're working on a Spyro game, maybe they're not. I don't know. I'm not affiliated with them, so I can't confirm or deny what's going on over there. And even if I do know what they were making, I can't just come out and say that. I can't just come out and say that they're working on Spyro 4 or whatever game they're working on, because I don't have the source. And even if I did, I wouldn't be willing to show it because I don't want to ruin the development. Does The Amazing World of Gumball air in Japan? I don't know. It probably might. Okay, so I want to address the Microsoft thing. So the reason we haven't gotten a Banjo-Kazooie game is because Rare is not interested in making another game. In fact, nobody even wanted to make another Banjo game. I think Toys for Bob did express interest in making a Banjo game though, so there is a possible chance that at some point they might actually do that. Rare is making their own games, by the way. Any news for Dimension Ride and Ash and Oreo? Not at the moment. I don't have any news for Dimension Ride and Ash and Oreo right now. Besides the fact that the progress on some of the pages has been kind of slow. But I'm working as hard as I can. Let's see, I gotta go and finish something. See you later. Alright, you take care. Oh yeah, there's that whirlwind. See, it was like right in that corner over there, but like now it's way out here in this version. Like in the original version, it was like in that corner, but now it's at a different location for some reason. I don't know why. I am way too used to that. By the way, if you want to gain exclusive early access to the comic I'm working on, you know, instead of having to wait for so long, you can do so, but you can do so by supporting me on Patreon. It really helps me out a lot. The link to it will be in the description.
Spyro よく来てくれたね。こんな寂しいところまでまさか探しに来てくれるとは思ってもみなかったよ。あんた。
Let's see, for my redesign of Spyro, I wanted to make a design of a Chinese dragon with elements of an American dragon design. I wanted to know your feedback as a Spyro fan, because I'm still trying to improve on it. Maybe send me a link to it. Like maybe in the chat so I can look at it later. And I'll see if I can try to provide some feedback. So yeah, I got going. It was nice being here for the first time. Alright, you take care. See, Dragon Ball Z is more realistic with their Chinese dragon. I gotta get back into Dragon Ball sometime. It's been a while since I watched that. Oh no, it's the dreaded missing gems. Oh no, now I'm gonna have to spend all night looking for those. No! Oh, I forgot about this guy.
おばちゃんたち大きなお鍋で何してるの？
さあな、一体何をしてるんだか。
I already made a fan art album of Dimension Ride on my phone and iPad. Let's see, are they over here? No. Okay. They should be somewhere over there. Oh, I see a treasure chest! No, 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 no. Go back, go back, go back. Good boy. Good Spyro. Yatta indeed, we can leave. Let me hear a yatta in the chat. Did you flame the cauldrons? I did. I made sure to flame all of them. Alright, Venom. I'll see you later. Lopez, hello. Where did you send me the link exactly? Where did you send me the link? The link exactly? I am really bad at speaking English today. I am so sorry. Why do I keep stuttering? God damn! I hate it when I can't speak English. So now, we're gonna play Ice Cavern, but the way I play it, I'm gonna do it backwards! Because that's how I always play it. I'm one of those weirdos. Does anyone ever actually do this, by the way, or is it just me? I'm gonna head out. I gotta go to bed soon.
Yeah,
Alright, I'll see you later, Swordheart. Thanks for joining. Why is it that the only time Spyro can fly is the Dawn of the Dragon? Free flight doesn't actually work in Dawn of the Dragon. It's not even free flight. You're mostly just stuck to the ground the whole time. So you're not actually flying. Let's see, there's a link to my friend, Lunar Equity Gaming, Spyro Fan 25. 25. Oh, that's the link? Spyro won the Reignite Trilogy and so I can actually I would say Classic and Legend Spyro are two completely different timelines. As for Skylanders, I would say it's a completely different universe where it kind of does its own thing, but it has Spyro in it.
お前のことをまだ子供だと思ってたが、どうやら見当違いだったようだな。
もう子供じゃないよ。ケントって何？
matter of fact, Skylanders doesn't actually have anything to do with Spyro himself, at least according to the advertisements. Like, he's never really the main focus in any of those games. And ironically, the same applies for the first title, Spyro's Adventure. Like, yeah, he is part of the starter pack, but I'm gonna be real with you. Like, the game never really focuses on him. It's not even about Spyro. It's just about all of the Skylanders. Like, I get it, Spyro was used as a marketing tool to promote the game or whatever, but like, still, it has absolutely nothing to do with Spyro. And I'm not saying that to bash Skylanders, like, it is decent on its own right, but still.
つまんのスパイロや。
Yeah, sadly there's no subtitles here. So it could be like those anime subs. I wish the game did have subtitles though. That'd be kind of sick actually. Then we'd be watching an actual anime.
いいかいスパイロ、銀色の鎧を着ている大きなノーク、奴らはとっても力が強くて、ここのノークたちのリーダーだからね。
Yeah, see, I don't know why people want Skylanders to be brought back, because, like, I don't know if this is a hot take, but Toys to Life is a stupid concept. Like, yeah, it does sound pretty cool on paper, but, like, once you really think about it, like, you'd have to be going out to the store and buy a bunch of plastic figures just to use them in the game. And, back when I was growing up, like, right when I was in my teen years, the figures were not cheap. Plus, I mostly just play Skylanders just for Spyro anyway. And like, are the plastic figures really worth anything? Like, yeah, if you need an extra army or something, like if a character dies in the game or whatever, then I guess that would be a good reason to spend your money on plastic figures, but even then your wallet would probably be empty. And I was like, so yeah, that's probably a hot take or something, but like, that's my opinion. Like, if they ever do bring back Skylanders, I think they need to ditch that concept. Because I really don't feel like going out to the store and buying every single figure out there. I'm sorry, but that's just me. Well, actually, I was 11 years old when Skylanders first came out, and I was already a Spyro fan before it was announced that Skylanders was officially being made, and that Spyro was going to be in it. So that was the sole reason I got Skylanders in the first place. I was like, all right, I'll play it. But I mostly want to play Spyro.
ここはスリップケーブだ。言っとくがここには大きな敵がゴロゴロしている。体当たりだけでは倒せんからな。
I think I already turned 13 and started entering puberty when Swap Force came out. So when Reignited was announced, I was 18 years old and I was about to graduate high school too. Needless to say, I was still in middle school when Skylanders was a thing, and graduated high school when Reignited was announced. And 2018 is the year I will never forget, because I remember being really excited, like the most excited I've ever been for a game, and probably ever will be again. Unless the new Spyro 4 gets announced somehow and like somehow surpasses any and all expectations I may or may not have. Because I really miss the feeling of being excited for a Spyro game. And I really wish I could re-experience that again. Alright, so we are now going to deal with Dr. Shemp. Like I mentioned earlier, Skylanders is kind of a mid-franchise, but I can see that people are fans of it, and lots of people actually did grow up with it. The guy just died. He was trying to run after me and he just died in the wall. It's kind of funny. I think what I actually like most about Skylanders, maybe even more so than the gameplay, is the presentation, because I really love the animation work they did, and even the performance for Chaos that Richard Horvitz did. He did a fantastic job, and the same can be said for Patrick Warburton as Flynn. They both really nailed it. And the soundtrack. Don't even get me started on that. It is fantastic. Like, I think it was Lauren Balfe that did the composition on most of the games. So if there's any Skylanders game I'd recommend, I'd say go play Superchargers. It is a fantastic game. Especially Superchargers Racing on the Wii. Imaginators, on the other hand, that game is hot garbage. Don't play it.
ここのボスは自分のことめちゃかっこいいと思ってるんだ。いつも鏡なんか見ちゃってさ。だから背中の方までは気が回っちゃいないんだよ。
Oh, Evil, I didn't see you there. Sorry. Alright. I'll see you later, buddy. I wonder what Dr. Shemp's name is in Japanese. Skylanders Imaginators has Crash Bandicoot in it. That's the only redeeming quality about Imaginators. The rest of the game, hot garbage. This guy thinks he's so cool. You don't know what it's been like listening to him over and over. But I tell you one thing, he should watch his back. Dr. Chef? That's his name? Huh, strange. There were actually kids who grew up with Skylanders, and Skylanders was actually the reason kids today are actually getting introduced to Spyro the Dragon. And it's also the reason they're getting into it. Skylanders is the reason kids are getting into Spyro. Which is something we gotta respect. No. Okay. No. Go back. Start over. Almost there. There we go. Adulthood sucks. Ain't that the truth? I think we're about done here. Guess it's time to head to Magic Crafters, or whatever it's called in Japan. So I'm gonna find a dragon, and then I'm gonna save my progress and call it a night, because I think I've been streaming for nearly two hours now. Yeah, it's time for me to wrap it up. They say you reap what you sow. I'm having strawberries and milk. Just gonna save my progress real quick. And I'm gonna exit the game and call it a day. Magic Garden. Alright, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Smug. And with that, that's gonna be it for tonight's stream. I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. Or I guess, as you say in Japanese, arigato. Miharu, hey! I'm just about to end the stream. But, yeah, I guess that's about it. Thank you all for joining. I guess to end off the stream, if you want to support my comic that I'm currently working on, if you want to see it early, you can check out my Patreon. It's in the description. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Miharu, you came in at the very last second, and I'm so glad you did. I actually had a lot of fun with this game, actually. Like, it's actually not as bad as everyone says the Japanese version is. Like, I had fun with this version. I'll even say that it's just as good as the original version. I'll even say that I like the fixed camera. The controls do leave a lot to be desired, though, but definitely not bad. I still prefer the original version because, yeah, it is the Western version that we all know, and I'll play it always, no matter what. But still, the Japanese version's a lot of fun. Spyro's voice, on point. I love it. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the stream, I guess. As they say in Japanese, sayonara. Arigato.